Welcome to Cup of Joe. Today, I want to talk to you about Loblaws. Now, why would I want to talk about Loblaws? I want to talk about Loblaws because Loblaws is a Canadian company, and it's a company that I want to be proud of. Unfortunately, as of late, I can't be. Now, this isn't about the collapse of the factory, where the people died and they were making Joe Fresh clothing. I don't believe that's Loblaws' fault. But this is about the recent changes that we've seen in Loblaws stores. Now, you will notice it's no longer called Loblaws, it's called Loblaw Great Foods with no S. Now, to me, this is a minor change and it comes with a prettier store. I'm just a customer, so what do I know? But to the employees, this actually came with a different labor contract, which a lot of people might not know. That actually changing the name from Loblaws to Loblaw means that you don't have to come through with the same promises that you've already made. You don't have to keep the contracts in place that were in place. You can buy them out and you can force people to take on contracts that don't pay as well, that don't have as much benefits, that don't generally lean in their direction. Things that benefit Loblaws, the $412 million company, the $500 million juggernaut. And I don't know that that's right. So when I walk in and I see this nice shiny new store, I start to wonder, okay, who's paying for all of this? Obviously I'm paying some because my peanut butter is through the roof. But on top of that, the employees are, being sort of shunned, pushed aside. The labor market is where the money is going to come from. Now, I personally don't like it when the bottom rung of a company has to take a hit so that the top rung of the company can stay, popular and profitable. Now, recently at my local Loblaws, there have been a lot of renovations. They're changing the whole attitude and outlook of the store, and the whole thing it's like a big warehouse, high ceilings, fresh paint, bright orange floors. It looks beautiful. And I believe that when people walk in, the first thought will be, wow, it looks fresh, it looks modern, this is fantastic. Now that particular Loblaws at 11 Redway began their renovations in September. From September until almost recently, when they finished the renovations, I think 2 weeks ago, from September until then, they had emergency exits blocked. They had the employee areas all jammed up with stuff that had no place because storage places have been moved and everything's been moved for construction, and they're not compensating the employees or giving them a space to stay or to relax or do whatever they have to do. The employee washroom was removed. For 3 weeks, there was only one washroom in the store. It's a customer washroom and it has lines. And the employees have 15-minute breaks, and they can't stay longer than 15 minutes, but the line might take longer than 15 minutes. This is just unacceptable. Again, I know it sounds silly, it might sound small, but this is a $500 million company that can't provide washrooms for their employees, but everything's fine on grand opening day, everything looks great. Oh, it looks spiffy and shiny and new and nice. That's fantastic. What about the heat? The heat in that building was removed from the staff room. The heat was gone for weeks. Some of the coldest days of the year, these people are eating their lunch in winter coats. Why is that? That's not right. And when the grand opening is complete and they come on and people are coming to visit, you have district managers coming in. Galen Weston Jr. and Sr. both visited the location. Neither one went back of the house. Both spoke about how great it looked. Both shook hands with managers and talked about what a fantastic job they did. Neither one went to see the employees shivering in winter coats eating their sandwiches. Now, this is not to say that they're just bad people. It's just not a concern. It's not a thought in most people's heads that, hey, when these things are happening in front of the house and I'm seeing it, how's the situation back of the house? How are the employees being treated? What's happening there? What did the employees of 11 Redway get for Christmas when Christmas rolled around? Right in the middle of the renovations, right? Oh, thank you for putting up with all of this nonsense so we can remain profitable. What did they get? Here's what they got. This is not a mistake. This is what they got. Nothing. Not a party, not a gift, not a card, nothing. How is that acceptable? I'll tell you how it's acceptable. It's not acceptable. And it wouldn't be acceptable if it was an American company like Target. Quite frankly, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Nobody wants you here. That was the worst kick at the can ever. It hurts me more when it's a Canadian company. This is a company that I want to appreciate and I want to respect. And quite frankly, I do patronize. I will go there and I will buy my food there. I'd like to know that you, Mr. Weston, are taking care of your employees as much as you're taking care of your customers. Because frankly, they matter just as much. That's just how I feel. I don't know how you feel. Maybe you have a different opinion. Feel free to contact me at cupofjoecanada.com or hit me on Twitter at cupofjoecanada.